All right, Virgo, welcome in. Welcome to mid-September. I hope everybody's doing great today. Let's see what's going on for you, Virgo. It's the end of your birthday season here. So I hope everybody had a great birthday. Let's see what we're doing for mid-September as we get further down the line. What is going on for my Virgo friends? Okay. Chaos and conflict. Underneath, that's something, the cards that are underneath, some of you take my tarot class, you know this, the cards that are underneath are things that you may not see coming, or what's being experienced internally, although it may not be externally. It's really up to you. Whatever resonates with you is going to be the right thing. So we've got the breathe card, by the book. Interesting. And to be fair, Libra showing up for you here. Some of you are having a hard time balancing right now. I'm getting the feeling that you're taking something too seriously. You could be taking a relationship too seriously and it's throwing you off balance. Maybe the other person isn't in the same place in the relationship as you are. You could be dealing with a Libra that is, it's not kind of where you expect it to be, or something is going on that's like throwing you off about this. You're feeling like it's off, okay, in some way. And it's, it could be that you might be a little too, your expectations are different, okay? Nobody's right, nobody's wrong here, but the expectations are definitely different. And that could be an issue. So 8 of Wands underneath, 3 of Wands, the Knight of Cups, oh yeah, the 2 of Swords, and the 7 of Wands. I feel like you might be surprised that this person is pushing back. There's something going on here that says there's been a lot of talk, there's been a lot of connection, and then there was just this time when, I don't know, you might have somebody went away, you or the other person kind of left the building in terms of this connection, and then the very next time there's like romance expected, and no, that's not going to happen. There's something here maybe that was said that changed the game, something that this Libra or somebody you're dealing with, maybe an air sign, heard, that I feel like this is going to be a surprise. Okay, if you're the one that's going through some chaos and conflict, I have a feeling that you kind of like dropped out of a connection and they didn't expect that. That threw them off. So you might be going through some difficulty right now and the other person felt like you ghosted them or something, and maybe you didn't, but maybe you're just not communicating. It'd be good to communicate what's going on, I think. Emperor here, Page of Wands, 7 of Pentacles. Woo! Death card. Aries. I'm going to still say Libra. Scorpio. Oh my word. 5 of Swords and the 6 of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. 9 of Swords. Wow. And the Devil card. Holy smokes. What is going on here? I'm going to say here, Virgo, that I feel like you've bit off more than you can chew. I feel like you have a couple of options. And I feel like you have a couple of options here. And I almost feel like this person started feeling like an option, not a priority. And I don't mean that like you have like, you're juggling like 5 men or 5 women or anything like that. I just mean that you have a lot of irons in the fire. And if there was a cutoff in terms of connection or an ending in terms of a connection, this person felt it pretty severely. Okay. I feel like they felt very like abandoned. And it's sort of like the feeling, I'm just going to equate this to kind of a work situation. It's like you get through like all the rounds of the interviewing, like all the way through, and then you don't hear anything. And that's a really tough place to be, because I really feel like that if companies do that to people, I think that's a bad thing. even though, other things happen and all this kind of stuff. It's just, I just feel like it's a very hard thing for people to deal with, especially if you're talking about a high level position, which clearly you are, somebody who's very accomplished. I'm getting the emperor here. And if this is a work situation, you made it all the way through and they didn't reach out to you, that's going to feel bad. Even, I just advocate, if you're going to do that, because I remember having a friend who went all the way through at my company. I had given a recommendation for her, and I couldn't even find out what was going on. And so it just felt really bad. And then they never reached out to her. And so she moved on. And I think they were kind of surprised when they reached out to her to make an offer. And she was like, it's been weeks, and I just moved on. I feel like there's something like that going on. You might have gotten a little complacent if you're the one who has kind of just like let something else take all of your attention. And admittedly, it might be a big thing. I'm not saying that, like, oh, you just kind of got involved in like World of Warcraft and just paid no attention to your friend or to, this relationship or something. I'm saying that when what is the I forget what the organization is. It's a psychological organization, but it has to do with relationships and building relationships. And there's something about like 5 to 1, that for every one difficult sitch, for every one kind of like conflict or not so good situation, there needs to be five positive or neutral interactions. Five. And if you have kind of a timing thing, I'm feeling like this is a timing thing, that if you've gotten used to a certain cadence of conversation and then you break that, um, that's going to be felt by this person. If you have gotten to a certain situation where you weren't sure, I just get the feeling this is like in the beginning of a connection. But death in the devil card is no joke. And so I'm saying to you, I feel like this is a big lesson that you might end up learning if you kind of took something for granted, or you didn't reach out over a long period of time, longer than normal. And I feel like you thought that there was a real beginning happening here, but then I just feel like this person's been waiting around a long time. If you are the one that's been waiting around a long time, if you take however this resonates, if you're the one who's been like, you know what, screw it, I've been waiting around for a long time, buy the book, right? Like the 5 to 1 ratio holds. If this person is kind of blowing me off, I'm moving on. So somebody feels left behind. Somebody feels left behind. Virgo, I'm saying to you here, I feel like in the bigger picture, this is about expectations. They will get you every single time. Expectations, and also letting you know that there is some kind of conflict coming. Now, we do have a full moon happening the 19th of September, full moon in Pisces. And that full moon in Pisces is about things that we find hard to get our arms around. I almost feel like you might be in a situation here where you're having a hard time understanding what it is. Is this a friendship? Is this a love relationship? Is this a real job? Is this something that's like going to be a freelance gig or something like that? This connection could have started out to be one thing, and one of you shifted in the middle of it, and the other person kind of still had the expectations. So if you shifted and you're like, well, I don't know, I'm not sure I want romance right now. So maybe you downshifted in your conversation and they kind of felt a little bit like left holding the bag here. You might start dating other people, and then they're gone. When you try to reach out to them again, they're gone. I wouldn't be too surprised. I really wouldn't, because this is about fairness. And like just like with that job situation, you cannot this I don't know if you can see it. Sorry about the light here. To be fair, it says on the bottom. If in the job situation, that's not fair to hold someone hostage for weeks and weeks and weeks. It's not a fair thing to do to anybody. And I know like life is different now, but I don't care. That's my rule. I'm saying, and this is one of those things. Everybody's got their own rules. Sometimes you don't even know what your rules are until someone has crossed them. And then there's like a, "Ugh," okay? So you might run into that where you didn't know that this person thought you were dating. You thought it was really super cash. You didn't know that they expected you to call. It's super cash. What's the big deal? Why is this such a big deal? But at the end here, I'm seeing this. Okay, so the Five of Swords, there is a feeling this person might take it to the next level. There's a feeling of, oh, if you're dating multiple people, I didn't know that. And so I'm going to feel like that's not what I thought was happening here. And so you might be like, well, I don't think I really had an obligation to tell you. So it's a misunderstanding, but I feel like this person kind of has a bad taste in their mouth. Five of Swords. Yeah. Oh, Nine of Swords again. Ten of Cups. Oh, really? Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. And the Sun. I get the feeling they thought you could have been the one, or that you could have been somebody who was very important to them. And maybe you didn't take it that seriously. Maybe you're taking things too seriously and you think this person could be the one. And then they kind of like, well, I didn't know you felt that way. So there's whoever is on the receiving end of this kind of ghosting or whatever feels like this could have gone further and now feels kind of bad about it. Okay, meaning feels left behind. So, Nine of Swords and this Devil card here. Four of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. So there's still an opportunity here. Okay, I feel like this person now understands that they need to be more direct in how they're expressing themselves. I just feel like this is a misunderstanding. So the second half of this month is going to be about, are you taking things too seriously or not seriously enough? Are you paying attention to the the other person's body language and how they're talking with you in any situation? This is not just romantic, this is like anything. I feel like, Virgo, you might have been in the past someone who felt like this is how things are supposed to go, and somebody kind of runs afoul of that. So no matter what happens in your work life or your romantic life, I get the feeling that there's going to be some kind of disappointment or some kind of hurt feelings here. And so the reading is coming out like this to help you get ahead of it. If you are taking something too seriously with another person, I expect that you kind of try to feel that out just to see what's going to be going on here, and vice versa. If you're not taking something seriously enough, this other person might be. So you want to make sure you know what's going on. So let's go deeper into this reading. I'm going to look at what you don't see coming at the end of September, and as we're moving into the October timeframe, how you can work with this. Let's get some advice, okay? All right, link is below, Virgo. I'll see you over there if you want to continue.